Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is a morning update. Well, it looks like the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family is in some legal hot water over unpaid bills. Isn't that funny, huh? How can you be a prince of the blood of England and still trying to skimp on your bills, still trying to get away without paying your bills? What is wrong with this guy? He is absolutely and utterly an embarrassment for the royals and for England itself. Has there ever been a name more fitting than the Joe Exotic moniker I've laid on this guy? Because he's that ridiculous. I mean, I'm sure if his good buddy Jeffrey Epstein was still alive, he would have just borrowed the money from his good buddy Jeffrey Epstein and paid this off, like Fergie did. Remember when Fergie borrowed money from Jeffrey Epstein to pay her bills? Pepperidge Farm members. So what's he going to do now that he can't afford to pay this? Is he going to, where's he going to get the money? I'm sure mommy will slide in for the save at this point, but not having access to his pedophile buddy Jeffrey Epstein's bank account is going to be a big problem for the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family moving forward. All right, let's jump into the article and see what the Daily Mail has to say. Headline: Prince Andrew and Sarah Ferguson are sued for over £6.7 million in unpaid bills that is 4 months overdue on their £13 million skiing chalet in the Swiss resort of Verbier. I mean, really? The royals have more money than God. They're sitting on a pile of funds like the dragon from Lord of the Rings. And this dude is negligent on his payments. Him and Fergie can't come up with the money to make their payments. Nobody feels bad for you, Joe Exotic of the Windsor family. Certainly nobody listening to this podcast. And furthermore, pay your bills, dude. Prince Andrew, a.k.a. the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family, was mired in more legal woes last night as he and the Duchess of York face being sued for millions over claims they have missed payments on their luxury chalet. It's mind-boggling to me to think that this guy can't make his payments on his properties or his homes or whatever. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody's out of work. I'm not missing my bills. I'm paying my bills. This dude, a prince of the blood, doesn't have the doskies to keep up on his rent? Well, if that's the case, then you need to come back down to earth with the rest of us, pal. Go get yourself a job. I'm sure that there's an essential workers position for you available in England, Joe Exotic of the Windsor family. The couple bought shares in the property in the Swiss ski resort of Verbier in 2014 for about £13 million. But it is alleged they missed the deadline on December 31st, by which another chunk of that sum was supposed to be paid. In the deeds of sale seen by the French-language newspaper La Temps, about £5 million had been due. That figure is now £6.7 million due to the interest. Now, I wonder, is he having a problem paying this because of the exorbitant legal fees that he's incurring right now? And if so, I hope so. I hope that those legal fees are hitting him in the pocketbook. But I highly doubt it. I highly doubt that he doesn't even have the money to pay this. He's just trying to get by, being the, I'm the Prince of England. I don't have to pay this. I'll pay when I want. That's basically the way he lived his life. So why would it be any different when it comes time to pay the bill? It is understood that the Yorks do not own the property outright, but simply bought a share of it. So what? It's like a timeshare. They bought like a timeshare and they got hosed, and now they're trying to, not pay their bills. I don't know. I don't even understand how this can occur. When you're the Prince of England and you have all the money in the world, how in the world are you negligent on your bills? How are you behind on your bills? I mean, unless, of course, like I was just saying, the immense legal bills are starting to pile up. And if he's not getting support from the royal family, then I can see how he can be in quite the hole. But I have a hard time believing that. I have a hard time believing that the Queen Mother is not pumping resources to her sonny old boy and helping him out in his times of need here, especially with, legal fees, et cetera, et cetera. But this whole entire thing is just laughable to me. You have regular, normal people who are struggling and just scraping to get by right now who are paying their bills. But you have this scumbag, the Joe Exotic of the royal family, not paying his bills? Now, the original owner, who retains a share in the chalet, has run out of patience and started court proceedings. A source close to the York said they, the original owners, have really gone for the jugular and want their money. Well, do you blame them? You go into a business deal with the Royals, you think you're pretty solid, right? You think things are pretty solid as far as, you getting paid on time, them picking up their end of the deal, et cetera, et cetera. You think it's a pretty safe business arrangement, right? Well, obviously not. The owners of this chalet, who the Royals bought in with, they want their money. And can you blame them? We're talking about a lot of money here, folks. 6.7 million pounds? That's a lot of dough. And if I were these shareholders who were partners with the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family, I'd be freaking out as well, and I'd be suing him too, because it's obvious he's not an honorable man. It's obvious he's not going to step up and take care of the debts that are due, and it's obvious that he's not going to step up and give an interview or talk to authorities when it comes to his role in Jeffrey Epstein's criminal organization. So why would we expect any different from this man? Why would we expect this man to step up to the plate and take care of the debts he owes? Intriguingly, a friend of the Duke last night said the couple had made plans to sell the chalet. The proceeds were intended to clear any outstanding debt, the source said, and that intention has been indicated to the previous owner. Oh, okay, so it's the previous owner's fault now. And it's just a miscommunication, folks. It has nothing to do with the royal family or Prince Andrew trying to play games or trying to get out of paying this or trying to drag his feet for as long as possible. No, it's just confusion again, folks. You got to pay attention better, okay? Because the Royals are just very honorable, and they would never stiff somebody on a money deal. They would never be involved with a criminal trafficking organization. None of that would ever occur. It's just a miscommunication. Nothing to see here, folks. That the legal proceedings had been made public had caused some bafflement, the friend added. La Temps claimed the money was outstanding despite messages from Sarah promising that payment would be made. Yeah, she can't like I said earlier, she can't reach out to her buddy Jeffrey Epstein and put her hand in his pocket anymore to get some money. So what are they going to do? Who are they going to grift from? Maybe they can find one of their billionaire oil sheikhs that they have business with in the Middle East, or one of the other abusers that's in their realm of the world. I mean, are you kidding me with this shit? This is just such nonsense to me. These people, their excuses, the way they conduct themselves, and how they believe they are above the law is just the most absolutely disgusting thing ever. La Temps claimed the money was outstanding despite messages from Sarah promising that payment would be made. Law firm Etude Duritz has been instructed by the owner to launch legal proceedings, the newspaper reported. A spokesman for the Duke said, "We can confirm there is a dispute between the two parties in this matter. The contractual details remain the subject of a confidentiality agreement and prevent further discussion." Of course it does. Everything's national security or a state secret when Prince Andrew is involved, huh? Meanwhile, this guy's a bumbling fool, pumbling around like an absolute moron. Everything he does it's obvious he's inept. I'm so tired of these confidentiality agreements. I'm so tired of these idiots not being able to see the forest through the trees for what's going on here. All right? The only reason they have these confidentiality agreements is to protect themselves when they inevitably do something ridiculous. And all of these disgusting billionaires that rolled around with Jeffrey Epstein, all of these rich people, they're all the same when it comes to that. They're all pinching pennies. They're all trying to get over on everybody. And they're all trying to steal from us, right? And then at the same time, they try and act like they're these great holy people and they're so fantastic and they would never ever do anything like that. Meanwhile, if you're paying attention to what's going on, you know just how disgusting these people are. And the Joe Exotic of the Windsor family and his beau, Fergie, are no different. They're grifters, they're disgusting, and they've been taking advantage of the British people for far, far too long, in my opinion. The Duke and Duchess, who divorced in 1996 but remain close, fly off to the Swiss Alps with their daughters Eugenie, 30, and Beatrice, 31, for a skiing holiday, most years after Christmas. Well, they're going to be looking to rent something else next year, huh? Because I don't think that these owners at the chalet are going to want them on property anymore. Called Chalet Hellora, the 7-bedroom luxury lodge previously boasted 6 full-time staff and was available to rent for more than £22,000 a week. Said to be decorated with chic antiques, the master bedroom is draped in animal furs, and there is a 650-square-foot indoor swimming pool, sauna, sun terrace, boot room, bar, and lavish entertaining area. A boot room, huh? Well, that's nice. Make sure you come and get your boots taken off here in our boot room, folks. Hey, babe, did you clean the boot room today? These people live on a completely separate planet than we do. Neighbors include Sir Richard Branson and singer James Blunt. In 2015, the Daily Mail exclusively revealed that Andrew and his ex-wife had secretly splashed out on the Swiss ski chalet. They bought the property as a family investment, with the deeds listing them simply as Andrew York and Sarah Ferguson. It's just an investment, folks. No big deal. It was just their investment. You know, everybody goes and can invest in these sort of chalets. You know, just a standard operating procedure here, folks. My question is, how much of this money came from the British people? How many tax dollars were spent on this and other escapades from Andrew? It's all part of it, in my opinion. I think all of it should be looked at by a forensic accountant at this point. Every single person, you know how I feel about this, folks. Every person involved should be slapped up and slammed with RICO charges, and all of their finances should be went through with a fine-tooth comb. The chalet was split in two for the sale because, according to local regulations, it was too big for a sole foreign purchaser to buy outright. Legally, Andrew has the upper floor and the attic space, Sarah the lower floor and basement. They share the land. Oh, so one person couldn't buy it, but let's sell it to a husband and wife. You know, the loopholes for the rich. This is what I continue to talk about, folks. The loopholes for the rich make me ill. In finances, legal matters, whatever it may be, these loopholes for the rich all must be tied up. The purchase immediately raised questions as to how they could afford it. Andrew was not known to have a vast private fortune, while Sarah had only recently managed to clear £5 million in debts she ran up through a series of disastrous business investments. It is thought it was financed with $15 million proceeds from the sale of Sunninghill Park, the former marital home given to Andrew and Fergie by the Queen as a wedding present in 1986. They lived on the 12-bedroom estate in Berkshire as a family, with the Duchess staying on with the girls following the 1996 divorce. Fergie moved out 10 years later before it was sold to a Kazakhstan oligarch Timur Kolobayev in 2007 for well above market value. Of course it was. And what did I just say about oil sheikhs from the Middle East? And this is no different. Timur Kolobayev is just the same kind of person. Kazakhstan, an oligarch from Kazakhstan. I'm sure he's an upstanding individual. I'm sure that he's never grifted. I'm sure he's not a criminal or a crook, folks. The prince has too much honor for that. And he wasn't even wearing the right kit to be hanging out with somebody like this. Andrew spent about £7.5 million on improvements to Royal Lodge in Windsor Great Park, where both now live despite their divorce, meaning only half the sale proceeds would be left, at most. A source close to the Duchess confirmed to the Mail that she and Andrew bought the chalet jointly as a nest egg for their children. Neither of them have their own property and wanted to buy the chalet as an asset to leave their children, the source said in 2015. Philippe Loriton, partner at Etudes du Ritz, declined to comment when contacted. The new legal proceedings add to the 60-year-old Andrew's woes. The prince stepped back from all royal duties in November after a car crash Newsnight interview over his friendship with the late U.S. sex offender, pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein. One of Epstein's survivors, Virginia Roberts, claims that when she was 17, she slept with the Duke on 3 occasions at the pedophile's behest. Andrew emphatically denies the allegations and that he knew of no wrongdoing by Epstein. Does anybody believe that? Does anybody believe that the Joe Exotic of the royal family had no idea what Epstein was up to? Does anybody believe that his money is on the up and up. I mean, honestly, does anyone believe that about Prince Andrew at this point? The only thing protecting this man at right now is his blood. That is it. Being blood royal of the House of Windsor is the only thing protecting him at this point. It is obvious Andrew has his fingers, or had his fingers, in many pies, in my opinion. Many, many, many financial pies with a lot of dubious ties. That all needs to be looked at. And if he's subpoenaed in the United States, I would think that under a RICO count, they would do just that. All I could say, folks, is how much more evidence do we need that Prince Andrew is a liar, Prince Andrew is not an honorable man, and that Prince Andrew is, in fact, without a doubt, the embodiment of Joe Exotic of the Windsor family. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that at Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. You can also find me on Twitter at BOBBY_CAPUCCI. All right, everybody, I will be back later on with some more. I hope you all have a fantastic day.